All right. It says we are going live.
All right. Did you really say the national anthem is playing?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
it's playing. It's playing. All right. So people should see us. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So we'll do a little introduction here. So, hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is LaPora, and I am a certified workforce development professional, a career coach, and I'm joined this morning by.
Kisha Norman. I am a certified workforce development professional. I am a certified career counselor. I'm a national board certified counselor. And I'm also a licensed career development coordinator. Yes.
All
Those are the relevant
certifications.
certificates. Yeah.
Love it, love it. So this morning we are just gonna spend like what 15 minutes max talking about quiet quitting because it is all over the place. Like so many different people are talking about it, and we want to talk about it too. We want to share our little insight about what we think about it, and y'all can feel free to type in the comments. I think we can see if you type there. We may not be able to see who's typing, but we will hopefully be able to interact with you. So it started on TikTok.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And now everybody is talking about it. So what is it? Like, well, based on what you know, Keisha, like, what do you think quiet
All
quitting
right.
is? Because
So,
it seems to be different.
yeah, based off of my research, what I've done is just that it looks like what happened was that people realized that when they went out for the pandemic, those who are able to work from home, they had a more work-life balance going on there. There were some who felt like it was less work-life balance because they were right at home all throughout the day. Their employer was emailing them, messaging them, telling them, hey, do this, send this, grab this, handle this. And they were getting up early in the morning, checking emails before they even clocked in. They were checking emails before they went to bed at night because they were so worried or concerned about losing their job. And then you have the other ones who were like, hey, I'm doing a little bit of work. I'll go put on some laundry, do a little bit of work, go fix lunch, fix dinner, go pick up the kids. They were enjoying that flexibility.
Yeah.
You kind of get it from both sides. And then the ones that are like, it seems to me, the ones who are doing the quiet quitting are the ones who don't have that work life balance once they go back into the office. Like once they have to go back into that office setting, that has entirely changed for them. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. I think it goes down to boundaries, honestly.
Mhm.
Um, being able to have it. And I know that some people are against the term, but honestly, like this day and age, I feel like we coin everything. It could be stuff that we've been doing for years, and now all of a sudden, like there's a name for that. Kind of like there's an app for that. There's a name for it, right? But we've been doing it for years, and I don't think and for me, it's about we've had this mentality in society, like hustle culture, like let's go above and beyond. I mean, even when you think about, I've been guilty of this when we're writing resumes and we're selling ourselves. It's not about how did you do really good at your job, it's how did you go above and beyond. That tends to be the terminology. um, when it comes to quietly quitting, you don't have to necessarily go above and beyond in order to prove that. But what I really like about not necessarily the term, but the action that comes with it is for me is I feel like it is a recognition that a lot of people are starting to tie their value, because I'm all about self-worth. A lot of people are starting to tie their value to who they are instead of the work that they're producing, because it's always going to change. Like you could be employee of the month today and you're not bringing it tomorrow. And it's just, I think that people are starting to see that that value is not necessarily dependent on those accomplishments. That's just my take on the term.
Yeah.
All right. So do you agree with that name though?
I
Quiet
don't.
quitting? No? Okay, good, good. Tell me why.
The reason why is because it's just like with quiet quitting, it almost sounds like you're doing something that you're not supposed to be doing.
Gotcha.
To me, it sounds like it's almost like you're riding the clock because that's what we called it back in the day. Oh, you're just riding the clock. You're not doing any work. You're pretending. Or like back in my day, we called it checking out. Like you've already checked out. You checked out like 3 or 4 weeks before you even turned in your letter of resignation. You've already checked out. You're no longer doing the job. So,
Okay.
Right, that's what it sounds to me. But when actuality, what it is that people aren't, when they're quiet quitting, they're doing no more than what they're being paid to do. So
Mm,
it's like if this is the value that you were placing on the work that I do, this is the value of work that you're going to be getting.
yeah,
Does that make sense? It's like, okay, so
it
if this is
does.
what you feel like I'm worth, this is all that you're getting. So if you feel like I'm worth more, then you'll get more. But if you don't feel like I'm worth more, you're not going to get more.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
really
think
interesting.
another term other than quiet quitting. I think it should be something else there.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it, but that's just me. Like I'm not a, and here's why for me, like why I'm not, and this is why y'all, we have not, Keisha and I have not talked yet. Well, we talked a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, we talked a little bit. We did not talk about all of our answers because I wanted this to be like we're just gonna sit here and talk about it. So I'm not opposed to the topic. I mean to the term quiet quitting, and the reason why is because I'm tying it to the action of you are quitting the necessity of needing to do more. And you're not going out there and you're not saying, telling everybody, hey, everybody, listen up. I am tired of going above and beyond. I'm just gonna do my job. I'm gonna set these boundaries. I'm gonna get it done. You're not doing that. You're just stepping back and you're saying,
Mhm.
I'm done. There's no announcement that's needed. And I'm going to quit putting it this way. So I think it does kind of come down to oh my gosh, what's the word? Is it semantics? A little
Mhm.
bit. Where it's just I guess it just depends on, you know, our play on the word and our definition on it. But I love the fact that you want that you think that there should be another term, and I'm just like,
Sure.
well, it's whatever.
I do. Yeah, I really do.
All right. So have you ever done it though? Because we know that this has been around for a while,
Mhm.
right? It's just not recently being coined, but have you ever, we'll use the term for now, have you ever quietly quit?
Me, no, I
Okay.
have not. Because usually when I get to that point, I just quit. There's no, there's no quietly quitting. There's no doing the bare minimum. You're just checking out before. No, I'm just handing you my 2 weeks notice or my 30
Okay.
days notice, and I'm gonna go ahead and break camp because obviously, like, we're not connecting. Something's not, working out.
Right.
However, I have been in situations where I've been asked to do more than what was in my job description or do more than what was required. And what they threw at me was in
Mm-hmm.
my job description, it was coined as other duties as assigned. And I'm like,
Mm,
and I was like,
I
okay,
gotcha.
like, right. And I was like, you know what? You want to go ahead and throw that out there that is other duties as assigned and it's a whole nother job. You
Yeah.
were originally paying a whole nother person to do this job, but now you want me to do it for my same salary with, no extra pay, no extra funds, no extra nothing. So you know what?
Yeah.
Here you go, 2 weeks notice. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for everything I've learned.
You say you are not quietly quitting.
Right.
You're
I'm
just
moving
gonna
on
make
to
an
the
announcement.
next. I'm going on to the next adventure. Yeah, because see, me, I
Yeah.
truly believe um, that, like, if I'm working for a company and you give me another project or you give me something that's outside the scope of what I would normally do, I feel like you're testing me to get a promotion or to get a raise or to move forward or for
Right.
growth. So
Right.
I'm willing to take that on. But then if
Okay.
you get to that point where it's a normal, regular, everyday thing, is happening all the time, you're gonna do it because, oh, well, Keisha will do it,
Mm-hmm.
and not get any recognition or not get any promotion or no raise behind it. Yeah, no, that's not that's not
It's
gonna
like
happen.
that happened.
Yeah, absolutely not. Because like
Oh
now
gosh.
you don't get raises based off of performance.
Right.
Everybody gets a raise. It's one of those everybody gets a trophy just participating. Like everybody gets praised regardless of the type of work that you do.
Yeah.
Right, and it's that environment that we fostered that probably, just brought all this attention to quiet quitting. That's what I was
No,
like. Yeah.
absolutely. So I have quietly quit, if that's the term that they want to use. But I do respect the fact that you just making that announcement,
Yeah.
just being done with it. But my reasoning is because, and I think that this is why a lot of people quietly quit, is just because it is sometimes we don't have the opportunity to just quit. And if if someone is like myself, where I was a perfectionist, and I felt the need that in order to prove to other people that I was valuable and that I deserved to be there, I would constantly stay at that state of overworking. And a lot of times that would result in me getting burnt out. And then sometimes too, I have all these different experiences just because as a military spouse, we're constantly moving. Like, I've had a lot of jobs. So there's been a lot of moments of quiet quitting. But with that, I did not have the opportunity to just quit because maybe there was a limited amount of time that I was going to be there. And I wanted to get my time in, like I wanted to get those hours in. And I was just like, what some people define as doing the bare minimum, I stopped going above and beyond. And I was like, I'm going to do my job. And for me, which kind of brings up another topic that also kind of rolled into even for the jobs where I was passionate about and I really enjoyed, I still ended up quietly quitting. Not every job, but when even for some of them where I was really passionate about it, I still ended up quietly quitting just because I was so burnt out and I saw that other people weren't necessarily going above and beyond as I was. They didn't have to. But for me at the time, I felt like they needed to. I didn't see that. And I was like, I can't quit because I need the money. But golly, I am done with this. So do you think that people can quietly quit for a job that they love, or do you think that it only happens in those times where maybe it's not something that they really appreciate?
I think they do. I think they can quietly quit, especially in a job that they love. It's just because you get to that point is because you actually were, you were motivated, you were enthusiastic, you were overjoyed and thrilled with starting that position. And then you could have had poor management. You could have been micromanaged. You could have been or like you said, they're just constantly adding on extra tasks, or you're constantly going above and beyond it because you love the job and they're taking advantage of you and they're taking it for granted.
Yeah.
So yeah, you definitely can quietly quit, especially for a job that you're passionate about. And to me, if you have to do that for a job you're more passionate about, it hurts you a little bit more. Is because you're like, you know what, this was supposed to be it. This was supposed to be the one. Now, I haven't quietly quit for a job I was passionate about, but I did quit a job I
Mm.
was passionate about. I'm like, this job, and I've done it twice actually. And I was like, this job was meant for me. I was like, this job was made for me. If they
Yeah.
would just let me go, like turn loose the reins and let me do what I need to do, I can make this work, you know?
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
that micromanager was not willing to release any type of control, and it just put a stranglehold on me. And I was just like, I just can't work this way. I can't
Yeah.
operate this way. So yeah, I checked out, but not quite quit.
You always making announcements, and I'm like,
Right. Yeah, I did not quite quit at all. Yeah, I definitely checked out. But in other circumstances, people may have would have quietly quit. Because I think maybe like 2 jobs ago, I might have semi quietly quit just because I wasn't doing as much as I wanted to do.
yeah,
I was doing what they wanted me to do. So they wanted me to stick within this box. And I wanted to go outside the box because I felt like these are different things or different avenues that we could possibly do or possibly go to.
yeah,
But instead, I was like put in a box. So technically, the company I was working for forced me to quietly quit. Like they forced me to quietly quit. So at that point,
yeah.
like, okay, I'm done. I made my announcement.
Oh gosh. Yeah. So we got a lot of good questions here. Do you see the questions over in the chat over there, Keisha?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the comments.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know if yeah, I am not a multitasker. It's just like I'm like, why am I doing
All right.
a
So one
LinkedIn
of
live?
them is just
Okay.
saying that it was a great discussion. They love to hear our thoughts. And that it says that when things are good, more quiet quitting. When things are shaky, people are more likely to be engaged or more appreciative of their circumstances. And someone else was like, we'd love to know if anyone who can't quietly quit can be labeled as a people pleaser. And you
Mm.
know what? That is really good too, because that is one that comes up quite often is that if you're one of those go-getters, you go above and beyond, all of your coworkers are looking at you like, look at LaPora. Now she know full well that you know what,
Not me.
Right, like you go right on ahead and you keep right on doing that and burning yourself out. That's what your
Yeah.
coworkers are sitting back there looking at, like you are, like you're a people pleaser. Like what they say, cheese eater. Like you're trying to kiss up to management. Yeah, that's how they see it.
Well, and
But
here's the, I mean, I guess it depends on the culture too, right?
it does.
Like that workplace culture. And two, you don't who can't quietly quit. So you didn't quietly quit. You
No.
just made an announcement. So
Yep.
there's two options here. So there's not a they can't quietly quit. So they want to go above and beyond, but it's also like what is the workplace culture? And it's also, hey, I'm making an announcement. I'll
Mm-hmm.
see y'all later. So we have like this, almost like this line of different ways and factors to kind of consider and to think about with that. Another thing with that as well, because yeah, we have passed our 15-minute mark. Um,
But we're having a great conversation.
we are having a great conversation.
Yes.
So I feel like we kind of talked about, is it a problem or is it a benefit? Like, because it depends, right?
Right. To
And
me, honestly, I don't see it as either. I don't see it as a problem and I don't see it as a benefit
yeah,
to the person who's doing it. As far as with the company is concerned, it's not a benefit nor is it a problem either. Like because like they're doing exactly what they're getting paid to do. So it's
right,
not like they're going against. Hi Wendy, sorry. It's not like they're going against what they're actually getting paid to do,
right,
or going against company policy or doing something they're not supposed to be doing. So
yeah,
they're what's within their scope of their job, within their job description.
right,
But as far as the person's concerned, it can be a benefit to them if they're still buying their time. They're still trying to figure out what it is they want to do, trying to figure out where it is they want to go. They wanted to go ahead and start applying for positions. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
yeah,
just in case they do decide to not quietly quit, they're ready to check out. Hi, Olivia. If they don't want to quietly quit, they're just going to check out. They're like,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
just done. They're just going to make the announcement.
absolutely.
It can be beneficial in that way. And then some people are just stuck. They've done it for so long. Like this has been the
How do
job
you
for
get out?
so long. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I don't want to make a change. I don't want to go anywhere new. I'm used to these people. This commute is closer to my home. So there's several different reasons
Yeah.
why it's just best for them to just quietly quit instead of
And
actually
then the
going.
inability to do it too. Like sometimes it's not even a can or can't, but there's just like with the workforce, the way things are
Mhm.
going now, there's so many layoffs like left and right. There's so many things unknown that if you have a job now and
It's
you started out with going above and beyond and so people expect that from you, maybe you just slowly like back away a little bit. Like sometimes
mhm.
that's required. Like if you need that income, quietly quit. And the thing about quietly quitting is that it doesn't have to be like the eternal solution. So
Right.
it's just like people are just like, oh my gosh, I'm quietly quitting, that this is it. No, it could be a little bit of, if you really like going above and beyond, I'm not going to stop anybody from doing that. But if you really like going above and beyond, feel free to do that. But everybody needs rest. And either you're going to get rest by choice or you're going to get rest by force. I wanted to make that rhyme, but I didn't want to say it. Like, but I can make it rhyme. But so it's understanding that. And again, so for those of you who may or may not just join us, sorry, my LinkedIn isn't updating me on who may or may not have known, but we disagreed on the term
Yeah.
of quietly quitting, Kisha and I, as far as that being the coin term. But it has been something that has been around for a long time, but it's just now been coined as quietly quitting. But yeah, I mean, that's all the questions that we have. Keisha, is there any last things you want to say? Thanks so much for joining me today. This was so much fun.
Well, it's really, really fun. Really, really fun. I loved it. No, and I don't think I have anything extra to add other than the fact that if there's anybody out there who is considering to like quietly quit, just be mindful of the tasks that you're rejecting, and the things that you're saying no to. Because when you get ready to do your evaluation, your manager could look at that like saying, "Oh, well, she's not willing to learn new things. They're not willing to grow. They're not willing to move forward. They're not assisting the company in any shape, form or fashion." It can be a lot of things that can, affect that final evaluation to end up losing the job regardless. So just be mindful, of that if you do decide to quietly quit. So just make sure that the things you are turning down is not within the actual other duties, other duties as
Get
a
clarification on your other duties as a sign as soon as
yes,
possible.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I believe that would be the only danger to quiet quitting is just when it comes down to evaluation time. Because there's a lot of, private companies that still do evaluations and they base, whether or not you are going to maintain or stay with that company based off of those evaluations. So it could definitely.
Yeah.
And then Wendy did ask real quick, what else is being coined as? It's not being coined as anything else right now. It's just quiet quitting. But me, I don't like the term quiet quitting. I feel like it needs to be coined as something else. But LaPora is like, yeah, quiet quitting is what it is.
because you're quitting the action. That's my thing, is you're quitting the action. You're quitting the action of going above and beyond, and you're quitting thinking that your value is tied to your accomplishment. That's what you're quitting. And you're not making that as an announcement. It's just
Yeah. It's like I'm at my sorry, Larry. Sorry, Larry, but no, I cannot take on that project that belongs to so and so department.
yes, yes. And I think Shanika may have mentioned this. I think this may be a little slow with sending comments. I think that she may have mentioned this when you were talking earlier, Kisha,
Yeah.
as far as about, yes, you do have to be mindful, and you've learned that communicating it helps too. As far as your other duties as a sign, I think that that's what that
Yes.
comment is relating to.
Mhm.
All right, yeah, we have gone
Way over our time.
yes, way over our time. And Lindsey said Keisha's gonna create a new name for quiet quitting. I'm looking
Oh,
forward
yeah.
to that update.
I'm working on it. I'm gonna get started on that.
All right, y'all, but we're gonna log off and maybe we'll do this again. I don't know. Y'all just gonna have to be on LinkedIn and catch us if you catch us. All right, but just catch the replay. Bye, everybody.
Bye.